Radio check.
How would we bring business to the city of Corner Brook? We're a service center for the West Coast. I think if you look at our community, we have a lot of things going for us right now. Our mill is in a very healthy state right now. We've recently been able to get international container freight service to our port, and that brings a lot of stability to the mill's product. As well, we have a new hospital being constructed. It's going to be here for decades. That brings stability to our economy here. If you look at what we're doing with tourism, I think, and what we're doing to attract young families and bring them here, I think the future is very bright here. And what we're seeing is, in the last few years, unprecedented private development when it comes to new construction in commercial buildings. So I think the future is very bright now. We need to promote that and get more private investment on board. Well, like many communities, especially in the downtown, and I used to be the chair of the Downtown Business Association, I do know it's very difficult to compete with the big box stores and as well compete with online business. And it's not always easy, but we're seeing revitalization, particularly in the West Street area now, and hopefully we can bring that over toward Broadway as well. We recently changed some of our tax structure, so we're giving, I guess, a little more of a tax break to our hospitality and tourism related businesses, and we're putting the burden on big box stores, so we're upping their rates. I think with our focus on tourism, you're going to see more demand for the little shops, cafes, restaurants, bars in the downtown area. How do you encourage healthcare professionals to come to the city? As I mentioned earlier, we're putting a big focus on tourism because we live in a beautiful part of the world, great access to the outdoors. We have per capita some of the most indoor recreational space of any city in Canada. People don't know that. But when it comes to, I guess, a beautiful outdoor environment, a great place to raise kids, great access to air travel, we're only 45 minutes from Deer Lake. We think we live in a beautiful part of the world that will attract healthcare professionals. We're building a brand new hospital, of course, here in Corner Brook right now. So with a facility like that and the advantages we have here, you want to mountain bike, hike, ATV, do all these things that well-heeled people like to do. We think this is a paradise for healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses. It's where people should want to live. How do you change culture? I'll take exception to that. I think that people always say it's hard to do business with City Hall, but I challenge them to say, okay, tell me why exactly. Yeah, we have rules and regulations when it comes to how we plan our city and how we do development, but I'll tell you, any of our staff, especially when it comes to planning, engineering, they don't want to say no. When they say no, it causes undue headaches because someone up above them in the food chain asks why. Our staff are very professional and they do go beyond to try and help people doing development and conducting business in our city. Yeah, it's a little more cumbersome than it would be in a rural area of Newfoundland, but I'll take the Pepsi challenge with any city of our size. Well, you're going to see, I guess, a continuation of the same. We're going to continue to focus on our tourism product. As we come out of COVID, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to attract visitors and attract private sector investment. We have to work on, I guess there's some infrastructure things like water and wastewater treatment specifically that we have to deal with in the coming years. So that's going to be a focus in the next few years for the city. But really, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing, which is try and make the city the best possible place to live for young families and young people. And tourism goes hand in hand with that. When it comes to supporting business, I think what we need to do is our institutions need to communicate and coordinate better. Now, we've taken great pains to work with our mill, work with our port, work with our post-secondary institutions. We got a campus of Memorial here. We got a campus of College of the North Atlantic here. those institutions, if we're working in concert, we can accomplish great things. I mentioned earlier this partnership with the port and the mill, bringing container freight service here. That's something that is not only good for the mill, but opens up opportunities for business from export and import perspective. We also, of course, we're working on the Innovation Center, us in partnership with the mill, with CNA, with Grenfell, to refurbish that old admin building down outside the mill and make it into a center for research and innovation. So I think we got to continue along the path of working together. I think we've done a good job of that, but we're just getting started and there's a lot more to do. Yeah, we've been talking to them. It's a concept that I think has a lot of merit. Whether or not Qalipu Frist Nation is able to convince the federal government that it can happen alone, I don't know. From a city perspective, we're certainly interested. I think it could bring a lot of benefits to our region. I think there's opportunities to coordinate with Con River and form partnerships that way as well. But it's certainly something we're definitely interested in helping pursue. I'm really proud of what we've been able to do in the last 4 years. I've been able to accomplish a lot of what I had in my platform. Of course, I don't do it alone. I got to work with council and staff, and I think we've done a great job. We've gotten progress on our aquatic center, which was much needed. We've eliminated the poll tax. We brought ATVs into the city, which was a big boost for our hospitality sector right when we needed it during a pandemic. We've been able to bring more transparency, a code of conduct to council. So I'm very proud of what we've done, but I'm really excited to get started, especially after this pandemic's over. So I'm looking forward to working with the community to do even more.